Jewish Family and Children's Services, the East Bay, we take pride in touching the lives of people very directly on a daily basis. There's staff who are out there working, there are donors and funders who support our efforts, and there are volunteers who extend our work. They're really the eyes and ears and hands of the agency, being out there interacting with people on a daily basis. They're invaluable and they're awesome, and we depend on them in many, many ways.
So I'm kind of like a matchmaker here. And my work is really to kind of do that, find that individual match between our clients and those people that come from the community and want to do some good. I run a holiday food program where we deliver meals to homebound elderly and people with disabilities in both Alameda and Contra Costa counties. It's 3 times a year, and we utilize probably 35 to 40 volunteers each time we have a delivery day. We get out about 175, 185 meals for each holiday.
When my kids were younger, I was looking for some opportunities that we as a family can do social services. I wanted to introduce them to the act of doing service and tzedakah.
You could learn how to give tzedakah, and you could actually do it. That makes it even happier for them if you actually do it.
It's been one of the most rewarding experiences for us, and that's why it's been close to a decade that we've been out here participating, and to be able to contribute in some small way has been enriching for us as individuals and as a family.
We generally get about 5 or 7 different families, and we go and deliver them. Everyone was so happy to see us. Some people wanted to sit and chat. Some people were just very happy to see 3 children. And some people were just very gracious that someone brought them some food and remembered to bring candles or challah and honey on the holidays. And I think that was really powerful for our family.
In the East Bay, we still have a surprisingly large number of Holocaust survivors in our community, and we're blessed to have them as part of our community. Most of them are now in their 80s and 90s, and people are getting older and people are getting frailer and in need of different kinds of services.
It's really important for them, we've found, to be able to speak either their native languages or languages that they know. So I set out to find a French speaker, and I found Simone. And Simone it was a perfect match, because Simone had come to me one day and had just lost her grandmother not long ago. Her grandmother was a Holocaust survivor. She had a very, very close relationship with her grandmother. And she specifically said, "I want an adopted grandma."
When I first met her, we decided we would speak French together, and I wasn't sure exactly how it would go. So I went to the bookstore, used bookstore, and I looked through their minuscule French selection, and there was The Little Prince in French. So I brought that over to her, and it turned out it was her favorite book. I realized how profoundly important the connection is between the generations, and to have for an older person as they age, and as they sort of confront those changes, to have younger people around them, and especially younger people who are willing to be steady companions and to witness and just listen to their stories and talk. I had that experience with my grandmother, and it has been a very deeply important part of these past 2 years for me to give that to Joe. I think one of the most important things that I bring to the picture with Joe is the willingness to show up and be a companion. And if she wants to give me French lessons, I have French lessons, and if she just wants to sit and hold my hand, that's what we do.
The Afghan people have suffered in a way that is very well familiar to a lot of Jewish family stories. You know, there was war and there was flight and there was persecution, and this particular family that Bill works with has really seen all of that.
Primarily, the relationship started to be helping them assimilate into the school systems, English, math, and help them with their schools. But it is also a family that has a large needs and a lot of crisis, and is surrounded by a large and wonderful group of volunteers. But for myself, it really blossomed into much more of that, and it's really become part of my life. When I look at the trauma where they come from, it really originated back in their homeland. Their father and other members of their family were killed. Their home was bombed. Their grandfather then in turn worked hard to get them out of the country, and they ended up in a Pakistan refugee camp for many years. So we don't know what the trauma that occurred there. That was really their formative years when they were there. They were all small children, and that's really what their first view of life and how to learn and how to process things was done within the refugee camp. They were brought then here to the States, resettled here in the East Bay. Jewish Family and Children's Services of East Bay took the lead in their resettlement, and we've worked with them ever since. I'm there, somebody that's there, they trust, then they know that is there for them in their times of need, and we've really built that relationship that from their perspective, it's that grounding and that stability that at least the children may never have had an opportunity to see as they were growing up prior to being here. And that's really what I want them to take away. From the family's perspective, I really want them to think that there's good in the world, there are people that care, and that are there for them.
People who are in need are attracted to this agency because we provide that very individual, compassionate attention to people. So when a volunteer joins us because originally they thought they had a couple of hours a week or they wanted to do some good for someone, what they don't realize is that their lives become very impacted and they become part of the circle of care.
We made a difference. You know, on one visit, one day made a difference.
It has been one of the best experiences of my past.
I believe that I've had an impact on someone else's life in a positive manner, along with having a positive impact on my own.
For us to bring joy and happiness to other people is priceless.
Our role as an agency, and it always has been, is to be an embodiment of the community being there for people. That's what it means to be a community. And this is the time when all of us need to step up more than ever to do what needs to be done in the community, to muster the resources and to deliver the services and to advocate for the kind of policies that will sustain our lives and will help us to move forward. And I'm so grateful that all of us are in it together. I'm grateful to our volunteers who continue to step up and make our work possible.